I think one of the most frustrating things about being a small business owner is figuring out where I need to spend my time to truly move the needle within my business. Today, I'm going to show you my step-by-step system, and more specifically, a system that's going to help you show up each and every day prepared and knowing exactly what needs to get done during the course of the day. So don't worry if you use a physical planner or a digital planner, these tips will still apply whichever method you choose to use. So make sure you grab a pen, a cup of coffee, and let's dive right in. So first, I'm briefly going to go over some of the supplies you need. So the first thing you're going to need is a binder. I got this binder off of Amazon. As you can see, the rings are exposed on it, which I like. So as you fill up the binder, this cover will expand and it cuts down on a lot of space, which I really like. And this also comes in tons of different designs, like there's front pocket ones. This one just has this like brush finish on the outside, has a little pen holder on the back side. There's no pockets on the inside, which I like because I find that I kind of start stuffing stuff into my binder and it's not well organized when I have the pocket option. So this one is just very basic and minimal, which is why I really love it. So the next thing you're gonna need are some clear sleeves. These are the sleeves I got. They're just Amazon basic brand. I think they come in like 100 pack. So this is the option that I went with for my binder. So the next item, which is probably the most important part of your binder, are your daily pages. So basically this is just your schedule, your daily schedule broken down into time blocks. That's the most important part of this, making sure there's some part on the schedule that is broken down in time blocks that you can fill in. So I want you to find a planner page. You can find one on Etsy. You can make your own in Canva. This one is actually from Passion Planner. You can go to her website and get a free download of this daily page. It's called the Daily Undated Large Planner page. It's just a digital copy that they send it to your email address. So this is the one I'm currently using. I definitely recommend going and checking out her website. It's passionplanner.com. And like I said, you can just enter your email address and they will send you these free pages, which is really, really nice. So pretty much you want to make sure that you're paying attention to the time block section, like I mentioned, but more specifically, the start time and the end time. You want to make sure the spread makes sense for your day, including your daily routines. I've fallen into issues where this started too late and this ended too early. So just keep that in mind and be on the watch for that, making sure that when you're waking up in the morning, it's represented on this schedule. And then also when you're going to bed, your PM routine, things like that, you can fit it on the schedule as well. Okay, so now we have our basic setup. We have our binder, we have the clear sleeves to put our sheets in, and then we also selected a daily page that we love. We're excited to fill out and use within our binder system. So next thing I want you to do is I want you to print out your daily pages, so at least a week's worth. So print out at least 7 at a time, date them at the top, and then put them into your binder. Now for this system to work, the key to this is making sure that you are planning the night before. So last night I sat down with my binder, planned my day today, so when I woke up in the morning, I was like, okay, I know exactly what I'm doing. This is when I'm waking up. This is when I'm getting out of bed. This is when I'm starting my morning routine. This is when I'm getting ready for my YouTube video. This is when I'm filming it. Everything is all predetermined the night before. It's in my schedule. I know exactly what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. You want to make sure you know what you're doing the night before, because you never want to wake up in the morning and go, okay, what am I doing today? Because you're already putting yourself behind. You're already putting yourself in a weird mood. You're already like, okay, I don't feel prepared. I don't feel ready. And it's just this unhealthy cycle that you can fall into if every day you wake up and you're like, okay, I don't feel prepared. I'm kind of doing things a little not to the best of my ability. Okay, we'll try again tomorrow. We want to break that cycle and make sure we're proactive and we're figuring out what needs to get done the day before our day even starts, so we're prepared, we're motivated, and we feel ready. So I want to talk about a couple of things that I want you to make sure you're adding to your schedule, some things that I don't see other people talking about that are really important to me, and I just want to make sure that you're including them on your schedules. So the first thing I put on my schedule every single day, because this varies from the weekends to the weekdays, depending on what I have going on, this can very much vary. Also, just generally my mood, and also if I need more sleep or if I feel like I'm drained and I need more sleep in the morning, sleep in a little bit. So this changes day to day. So every single day, the first thing I fill out is my wake up time. So this is the time that my alarm clock is going off. There's a separate event that I put into my calendar also, which is my get out of bed time. So I just want to point out that those are two separate events. When your alarm clock goes off, you might not necessarily get out of bed. Some people like to meditate, some people like to read, some people like to pray. So if there's something that you have going on in the morning and you're not actually getting out of bed at that moment, that is fine. Just make sure you schedule that into your schedule so you know when you're waking up and when are you getting out of bed to start your day. The next thing that I will map out is when I'm starting my morning routine, and all I do is I use a highlighter to box in those times. So you should have some sort of morning routine in place, something that you can rely on every morning. These are the things that I'm doing. These are the things I am waking up to, focusing on to start my day on the right foot. So pretty much what I want you to do is I want you to block off the non-negotiable time slots throughout your day. So I start with my morning routine, non-negotiable. Those are the things I'm doing every single day to wake myself up, get myself prepared for the day. The next thing that I always mark off are my office hours. I just call them office hours, working hours, whatever you want to call them. But when I'm working, I'm in my office, so I just call them office hours. So those are the time blocks that I know I'm going to be in my office doing work, getting things done. I'm just mapping off those hours and just making a note of when I will be in my office during what time blocks. There's other events that you might want to time block. If you know you need to get in your car, go somewhere, pick someone up, do something, things like that. I want you to map those out right now as well. Because we can't fill out our schedules if we don't know what areas are available to be filled out, if that makes sense. So another thing I'm mapping out is my PM routine. I want to make sure that I'm setting myself up for the following day and giving myself time and space to do so. So I'm time blocking off when I'm going to be starting my PM routine. I know how long that takes for me and I can just map it out on my schedule. So pick a color system. All my colors are kind of coordinated to what I do. I have my morning routine and my PM routine in a color, my office hours or working hours are a color, things that I need to really make sure I'm on top of and are kind of irregularities in my schedule that I need to make sure I'm mindful of and like, okay, I have this going on, gets its own bright color. So just create a system and then you can always change it down the road. If you want to change out the colors, that's totally fine, but just pick something, stick with it, and then make adjustments as you go. Okay, so the next step of this process is we need to actually fill out our schedule and get everything down that we are going to do. Like I said, do this the night before so the following day you're set up for success. And I want you to grab 2 color pens. I want you to grab a colorful pen, whatever color you want. I'm going to choose purple for this, and a black colored pen. So grab a colored pen and a black pen. Okay, so first I want you to take your colored pen and I want you to go through within your time blocks and map out the things that you want to get done. So for example, during my office hours time block for this morning, the first thing I had that I wrote down was film my YouTube video. So these are the things we're putting in our schedule that we want to get done. Maybe you want to take some photos for Instagram. Maybe you have story posts you need to work on. Maybe you need to edit this, film that, whatever it is. I want you to fill in your schedule, and this is the things that I'm going to do the following day. I'm going to get done, needle movers, things that are important to me and to my business. So pretty much we're using this colored pen to map out the following day, and you can do this for the following days after. It just doesn't have to be the next day. It could be a couple of days out or whatnot, but definitely for the following day, you want to have this mapped out with that colored pen. And now we're going to switch gears and look at, now it's the day that we previously mapped out. So now it's the following day and we're working through our schedule. Now we're going to take out our black pen. And throughout the day, as you are filling out your schedule and looking at it and saying, this is what I need to do, this is what I'm supposed to be working on, the black pen is going to be used to fill out all the things that we are doing throughout the day. So we have this mapped out version of what we wanted to do the previous night, had it all mapped out, and now it's the day of, and we are going to use our black pen. We are going to write down everything we do throughout our day. So I can see on my schedule, it's very bold and out there that this is what I should be working on, but I want you to be so honest with yourself and make sure you're filling out all the things that you are doing during the course of your day. And this could include things that aren't necessarily important for you to reach your goals. So things that I'll fill out are watching the news, scrolling social media, looking at things on the internet, things like that. you want to make sure you're honest with yourself and you're writing down things that aren't necessarily what we're supposed to be focusing on. Because at the end of the week, I want you to look back on these pages and ask yourself, was I being productive? Where was I spending my time? What was I doing and working on? This isn't supposed to be like a pretty planner where we are putting down all the right things and cutesy things and making it look nice. This is a productivity planner. This is definitely meant to be messy. This is something that you don't have to make sure looks great. And that's something that I've always kind of struggled with, and it took me a long time to kind of figure this out. And what I mean by that is this is my pretty planner. So we all have these planners where we have our nice sticky notes, we have it decorated with stickers, everything is filled out, looks really nice. This is what I call my pretty planner. And I will white things out in here, make sure everything's color coordinated, looks really nice and fancy. It's something that I can look back on at the end of the year and be like, okay, I did all these things, did a great job, worked on this, did that, traveled here, did this, visited with this person, whatever the case may be. So there's two separate systems here is what I'm trying to get at. And this productivity planner, this binder method of planning is not that. Something I will also do on the back side of my planner is I will journal and write things out. If an idea comes to me, I will write it down here. I will sometimes during the course of the day go for a walk when I'm I feel like I'm just not, my mind's not where it should be. I feel very scatterbrained. I feel like I'm not focused and motivated. I'll just go for a walk. I will walk around with this piece of paper and I will just brain dump and write my thoughts out. And by the time I get back here, I can promise you I am good to go. All that mental clutter is reduced. I feel great, refreshed, and focused and ready to go and know exactly what I need to work on. So I just really want to explain and let you know that this is not a pretty planner setup. This is a productivity planner. This is where you're going to be honest with yourself. You are going to be working in this daily. You're going to be messy with it. It doesn't have to be this nice put together aesthetic planner. That is not the purpose of this. This is meant for you to get your thoughts down, to journal, to do brain dumps, to map things out, to scratch things out. Don't feel overwhelmed like this has to be all nice and look good. That's not this at all. Just use this space for everything, all the thoughts that come to your mind, all the things that you're working on, things that aren't so great that we're working on. You just want to put everything into this planner. And then another reason why I put these into the sleeves is every single day, typically I go beyond this sheet of paper. I use sticky notes. I have scraps of paper. I have a daily note card. It's another system that I use daily to make sure I'm kind of tracking a lot of the things I'm working on and my to-do list, things like that. All those things can go right into this sleeve. So every day I have my schedule here, and then I will stick any notes, put any sticky notes on here, my note card, it all goes into this daily sleeve, which is super nice, and it just organizes everything. That's something I kind of felt like a barrier for me when I was planning in notebooks, for example, because you start an idea and then you either have to leave space to come back to that and fill stuff out, or you go from that page to another idea, and you're a couple pages down, all of a sudden you're like, okay, I want to finish that thought and idea or work on developing that a little bit more. And it's all unorganized and out of place, which I don't like. But with this system, you can move things around, which I really, really love. And I can also add things to pages. So throughout the course of the day, if something needs to go into the YouTube section of my binder, I can put it there. Or if it's like a brain dump, I can leave it on my daily page within that sleeve if I want to. So you can move things around, which I really like, and it is meant to be messy. There's different size sheets in my binder. Like I said, there's sticky notes. Don't really put any stickers on here, but you can use stickers if you want, different color pens. That's another thing too. Like with this system, I'm like, okay, I want to make sure I'm using the same pen so everything looks nice and matches. And with this system, I don't have to worry about that, which I love. And then also something with digital planning, sometimes I feel like I kind of get lost with that, where with my digital planning, I have a digital planner, which is in Notability, and then I have Google Calendar, which I do planning in, and I kind of start getting all over the place. And then you add a free form board and then Notion notes, and things can kind of go all over the place when it comes to the digital planning. But with this system, everything is in the binder and you can easily access and look back on it. And something else I want to note, if there's something that I do digitally, where if I write a script for a YouTube video, let's just say, or Instagram description, if that's something that I work on during the day, I will write it in here, and then I'll write down where that information is. If I put it in my Google Calendar, I'll put a note in Google Calendar. If it's in Notion, I will make myself a little note saying that information or that whatever it is in Notion. So this system helps me kind of catalog if I do something digitally, I know where it is. And then at the end of every month, I actually kind of make this digitally, just because when the month's over, I like to empty out my binder and just start fresh, which is another point that I want to say that I really love about this system. Because with a notebook, I feel like with a notebook, you have old thoughts and things you're not working on anymore, and it kind of creates that clutter. With this, it reduces that clutter to zero because you can just pull everything out and start fresh. So what I do is at the end of every month, I will take everything out of my binder, my daily sheets, my notes, my sticky notes, my note cards, everything, and I will create a stack. And I will take my iPad and scan every single sheet of paper into an app within there, so I have all my notes digitally now and they're always with me. Because I typically carry around my binder everywhere I go if I'm outside of my office, but I want previous month's notes and information just in case if I need to reference something. So now I have that. So that's another tip, is at the end of the month, just take the half an hour that it takes to empty out your binder, scan everything. You can use your cell phone and scan everything into an app, and you have it digitally. So you always have it with you, and then you can either file it. I never throw anything away. So to say just throw it away, I don't even do that. I'm kind of a hoarder in that sense. I always like to have copies of everything. So I just file it away in my little file cabinet thing. So I just file them, but you can get rid of them if you want to. But the point is, it's out of your binder. It's now out of your space, so you can look forward to creating new notes, new memories, and working on things. Also, if there's something that you need to continue to keep in your binder, you can do that too, which is really nice. So you don't have to completely empty it out. You can take things out of there if you want, or keep them in, whatever works for you. There are pages that I keep in my binder always, every single month. I'm just gonna grab one real quick. So this is one of the daily pages that I always keep in my binder. It says stories, daily page, where I'm at, what comes next, and to do. And as you can see, for example, I have just random notes in here, another sheet, just random notes, and I can keep these in my binder. These are things that I'm still working on and developing. I have these daily pages for all the social media platforms that I use. So I have all my schedule stuff in the front of my binder, and then in the back of the binder, I have these pages for all the social medias, so I know where I'm at. And typically I will add a sticky note. So for example, here for TikTok, need 12 for January, what comes next? And I'll just add sticky notes to this sleeve. So it's a good system for me to be able to just flip through my binder and be like, okay, where am I at with these social media platforms? What comes next, and what do I need to do? What do I need to work on? And again, there's another note on the back side of that sheet. So like I said, I have these in the back of my binder, and it goes through all the social media platforms that I'm actively working on. So I can just reference that section and know, okay, what needs to be worked on, what is next, and what do I need to do. And these sheets I just made in Canva, just put the title on the top, added a cute little icon there in the corner, and then just typed out what made sense for me, what I needed to work on, and just added sticky notes to these pages. And then, so I can just put everything into the sleeve and it's organized in one spot. That was something else I kind of had issues with when I was referencing the notebook or digitally. Sometimes you have stuff all over the place. And with this, as soon as I'm done with this idea or making these, I can just remove this from the binder, and it makes space for new pages, new things that I'm working on, things like that. So there you have it. This is my daily productivity system using a binder that helps me stay on top of my to-do list and keeps me focused and motivated and helps me each and every day reach my goals. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you wouldn't mind considering giving it a like and hitting that subscribe button down below, it's a free way to support my channel and it is greatly appreciated. So make sure you're focusing on the little moments and making daily improvements each and every day to really move the needle forward within your life. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.